Brothers and sisters, this is the second part of our program on the Africa Bridge YouTube TV series. I'm your brother Essa Bokarr. The second part, we are going to begin as follows. Unfortunately, though, our youth have always been an easy target or easy targets for people who use exploitation or persuasion to turn politics into a game of chances when it is far from being that. Politics is science, it is not a game. We must observe and derive facts, and it is only the facts that can save us. Once our youth are educated, once they use critical thinking and are independent minded, they will certainly be free from any form of persuasion which usually ends in exploitation. Instead of persuading the youth, one should try to convince them with facts, as those facts should remain as the flares that will lead the way to opportunities and progress. When former President Yahya Jammeh came to power, youth and women were his political honeypot as far as entrenching his regime. Well, youths are the ones whose energy he misused for every bad reason. It was the era of the July 22nd movement, which later on extended its thorny branches only to be transformed into monstrous structures of state-sponsored terrorism. Yahya Jammeh made sure the green boys and girls were there, also became the chicas who later on were transformed by compelling desires into the junglers and the NIA torturers. All those youth, be they male or female, who were sent to Libya after being recruited, went there to learn how to torture and nothing else. They were our own children, whom a serial killer metamorphosed into hard rocks flying with flames meant to roast us. Jammeh gave them an ordinary, or gave them an ID card which was laminated by fear, horror, and brutality. They tortured men who were age mates of their fathers and raped women who were age mates of their mothers. These are youth Jammeh made to believe that they were doing so in the service of a nation, when in reality they were transformed into demons and sex machines he used to degrade and kill the spirits of detainees. Detainees he either hated so much or wanted to silence for obvious reasons, which can be proven today by watching the commissions of inquiry. Detainees he either hated or wanted to silence for obvious reasons. Like I just said, watch the commissions of inquiries, then you will know why Yahya Jammeh was torturing and killing people and silencing them. These are the youth he mesmerized with formation of so-called institutions like National Youth Development Center or whatever the acronym was. Instead, it was a National Youth Destruction Center. Further down the line, Jammeh went ahead to create YDE, Youth Development Enterprise, which was a company that hoarded rice donated to Gambians only to resell that very rice to the targeted need. So sad and so bad. This is exactly what some of us were telling you over the years. Instead, we are here again to learn from the lessons that history has been teaching us through Yahya Jammeh's brutality. Well, Youth Development Enterprise, a company he said he owned, hoarded rice and selling it to the people that it was donated to. Of course, Alibaba style at the farthest. Youth Development Enterprise selling rice, making money for Yahya Jammeh, yet he used the Gambian youth to cover his banditry. Allah thank you for helping us cut our losses short. Honestly, YDE was a curse for our youth and for our nation. It was nothing other than youth degradation exercise. With all these names and structures, we saw youth surging to Libya and then traversing the Mediterranean Sea only to drown and be eaten by sharks. What a mixture of paradox, despair, and uncertainty. Lest we want to forget the death of the young Gambian international female soccer star, a star who raised our flag outside in countries like Azerbaijan, just to name a few, only to come home and be abandoned by a regime that was making so much noise about being there for the youth. Well, our youth must sit back and rethink, especially the youth and the women, and rethink their position alongside, revisit their souls, therefore know what they're worth as a powerful political capital all politicians should be running after. Hope and chances are not dead though. During the Kerfatu's program on GRTS, I was tickled by some words and structures I heard, as some of these are things I have been advocating for over the years. I totally agree, or I concur with my brother Nyangjai on the opportunities that are embedded in small, medium enterprises. Well, at this juncture, I will use experience within the context of professionalism to corroborate what he made reference to. His example definitely matches what I have been advocating for along those lines for so many years now. I heard the reactions around the table, therefore I wanted the guest called ambassador from the Chamber of Commerce to try the difference between classic diplomacy and economic diplomacy. In this world of today, diplomacy and politics cannot relax where business opportunities are present. In my book, being pragmatic should always precede the niceties of diplomacy. Metal suits and refined speeches are needed in diplomacy, but they cannot close any deal where business culture remains the yardstick. A diplomat is nothing more than a salesperson in suits. Why not combine being business-minded and being pragmatic at the same time? Well, we will end this part and then bring you the next one, which will be the third part, and it will end our series on this important program today.